We now return to the King's Dilemma. Okay, so this Honorable Alliance thing, the little blurb here, makes me think that this is about Lyra and using her as a soldier, which would be great. But I think that's going to send this up, and we cannot afford to do that. This one, a plague, also dealing with that symbol, but we might be able to trade it for the wheat going down? An Honorable Alliance. Greatest Sculptor is probably asking for money, which is going to send that off the rails there, and might possibly boost that. I don't know. The Endless War. Good choices. I think I'm about to lose my big thing here. I need to end the reign, is actually what I need to be going towards. Because if I end the reign, I get the crowns, we can just flip over and do the next thing. Because it's not the ending of a reign that ends a time with the eclipse. It doesn't move the eclipse. It's the narrative stuff that moves the eclipse, and as the eclipse approaches, that's the end of the game. So I think actually what I'm supposed to be doing is playing with the reigns more to get the crowns, to buy myself time for the preparation, and then push the story. It's interesting. I think I'm doing a lot of this stuff wrong. Interesting chronicles preserved in blah blah blah, which makes me think we could study them, and then that would raise this. I'm trying to think here about what I can maybe do to send this stuff back down. Let's try this one. Enemy clothed in shadow. We're running out of money too. The Librarian Chancellor informs us that many children are being kidnapped from orphanages all over the kingdom. Rumors talk of a cloaked figure with a black circle painted on their mask. Oh. We could relocate all orphans to a single large structure where they could be better protected and educated, yet it would be an extremely expensive project. We fund the construction of a centralized home for orphans. You would do that, wouldn't you? I mean, that sounds like a good thing, but then we lose not only that off the map and lose a couple crowns. Let's go with no. We'll say no this time. That will bring this down. That'll add another crown. That'll get me more. But allowing them to be kidnapped, to be recruited into the Black Dawn? That sounds like a really dumb idea, too. But moving this off loses me black crowns. Alright, no. Lost kids keep disappearing from remote orphanages every now and then. We shudder to think what fate awaits them. Few other people in the kingdom seem to notice or care. The Children Eater. Okay. Numerous tales of children taken from orphanages took root in popular folklore. The tale of a cloaked figure stealing bad children became a traditional fairy tale used to scare bratty kids. And that moved this down too. Ah! I'm running out of choices here. An endless war. After enduring the horrors of the never-ending war against the Ankali, many soldiers were reduced to poverty upon their return home, incapacitated and kept from working by the mutilations they suffered. Some propose we could introduce a new tax on luxury goods to create a subsidy for our veterans, but this may damage trade. We create a subsidy for impaired veterans. Oh my god, that's awful. That's awful. not only, like, this is what we want to do, right? But it's going to send that off. It's going to send that up. I'm going to lose a ton of black crowns for this. No, we can't. I hate this now. I hate that now I'm metagaming this, thinking about how the game works rather than actually caring about the storyline. This is a story of terrible people. So you either do the right thing and probably get unprepared for the battle and then lose, or you do the terrible things and you still lose. Alright, no. We refuse to tax luxury goods, but all those who served in the war protecting the kingdom wonder why the kingdom does not protect them. Yeah, they already questioned that about the red armor weaponry stuff earlier too, right? Does that... Oh, man, we're pissing off the army. That's not a good thing to do going into an uprising. Without proper care, many of the war veterans become beggars, often even forced to resort to theft to survive. Our streets become increasingly insecure. We need to end this frickin' reign. Precognitive rebellions. The Book of Choices. The Book of Choices. After studying the Book of Choices for some time, a group of scholars starts questioning the principle of non-contradiction. They're disrupting the academic activities of their peers, arguing with everyone and challenging common sense wisdom in every field. Do we allow the Book of Choices scholars to continue meeting? I mean, yes. Because that continues to help me? Yeah. The rational critique of reason itself proves to be damaging to many practical fields of science, and scholars spend countless hours in apparently useless conversations. Oh, is that what that is? Over time, some of the apparently absurd theories inspired by the Book of Choices actually proved to have merit, producing unexpected fruit. Die, die, die! Damn it. Damn it. I just want to get my coins and get out of here. We don't really have the money for this. Can I bring this down? No, that one... This is going to be... Do we allow her to join the military? Because some of our commanders think maybe having the daughter of the king is going to be a traitor. And so if we say no, that'll lower morale. If we say yes, that's going to raise morale. I guarantee that's how this one works. Okay, we have a little bit of wiggle room with this. If we lose one of these things... I mean, the thing is, even if it goes up, we still won't get the white crowns. Because they're not... If it goes off here, we get nothing. I mean, 7 and 8 at the end of this? My god, we could buy a couple things. God damn it. We need the king to die, or abdicate, or something. I need to pick an extreme view that gets him killed. It's probably not the way to do this. Although now that this is in the middle, maybe gaining the knowledge would be okay. It would go up, so it would turn to white. Damn it. A plague hits. I'm willing to bet the options here are going to be yes or no. If we say yes, this goes up. If we say no, that goes down. So how can we gain that? There's no other choice to use that. See, right now, the problem with this being so high is that anything that lowers morale is going to be bad for us. Even though it will keep us... we're just going to have to sacrifice this. I'm not making it out of here with 7 points. I'm not going to make it out of here with 7 points. An enemy clothed in shadow. A plague hit Leas. in the Duchy of Ulm, promptly named the Red Scythe. Where have we come across that name before? The infection makes people regurgitate blood until they die. At the potential cost of condemning the seemingly unaffected citizens, the Holy Attendant believes the entire city should be quarantined to prevent the plague from spreading. Do we quarantine the plagued citizens, sacrificing the healthy citizens? Oof. Oof. God, how far does that send it down? We lose a rival, but we also lose an ally. Or we just send the morale off. But not quarantining? See, this will send them both down. This one might send it off. Who knows? Would this be unpopular enough to get the king killed? This, right, indicating that there's more to the story, I think is pretty obvious. You don't quarantine it, the plague spreads, right? So like for short-term gain, we're getting a long-term pain in the ass. By saying this, though, we get the points I want. We lose an ally. I don't actually gain a lot by saying yes. I prevent the storyline from continuing, but it's going to cause a lot of other knock-on effects. Okay, yes. The whole city is probably dead. The Holy Attendant instructs the army to isolate Laius and transform it into a temporary lazaret. All those who are actually or even potentially infected will be held within its walls. While 3 out of 4 people ultimately succumb to the illness, by preventing the plague from spreading, their sacrifice avoided a much larger death toll. Shame we didn't... Damn it! Damn it! We lost the points, but we killed the king. I could have walked out of there with 7. I knew I wasn't going to. I knew I wasn't going to walk out of there with 7. It would have been very nice, but... the king was dethroned. So close. So close. And because it went off, we also lost one of the white crowns, too. But, look at this. Go for moderate again? I mean, that seems like the easiest thing to do, yeah? Because then it doesn't matter if they go up or down, plus we get an additional one. So we get guaranteed if they are all within the middle. If they are all within the middle. This is choosing extreme choices. They're all kind of upward. It seems like we're allowed to continue with this. I think the check mark just means that whatever was here, we already got it as a reward, so there's no point in continuing to fill these up. And this only fills me up on black crowns. I'm going to try and spend most of these. I think we actually need a lot more white crowns, to be honest with you, coming up here. Because we do need black crowns. But there are requirements for like 5 and 4 and other things for the white crowns. You need more white crowns than you need black crowns. Black crowns are just harder to come by. Let's continue doing moderate and see how many I can get out of this. Yeah. Alright. Now here's the thing. I now have enough things that I can afford one of these very expensive. Like, this one. This one seems really important. But not as important as the rest of this stuff. An intelligence network probably helps. But it doesn't seem to give, like, this. This seems very important. Like, I can see this now. With the uprising, this will help to contain the conflagration, right? You can see that. This probably helps us find dissidents. Renovation Plaza Plan. I don't know what that does. It's very expensive, so you'd think it would be important. Otherwise, we do the Legion. Should I do... A royal treasure room. Stores the riches of the kingdom in a secret room inside the castle. So if this were like another thing, like we've been warned about how the last two kingdoms fell. Either economic manipulation, which I feel like if you don't have this is what happens, or like the navigational thing. Well, we have secret navigations and ships now, so I feel safe there. Are those done? What do we have? Embroidered uniforms, Black Dawn investigation, so at least we've got that. Plus we've got the Red Iron stuff, so we got stronger troops. We do have... Okay, that still hasn't completed yet. It was not a full reign, I guess. We'll get this on the next reign, but we will have our Black Onyx explosives. This thing, what could this possibly do? This makes people depressed, because it could... It says calm wild animals and depress humans. This might be necessary, actually. We can play this during the uprising to make everyone despondent. You'd think exploring Libra's geology allows the construction of underground tunnels and structures. Now that thing, I definitely feel like this is another important thing. This is how, allowing the movement of people and resources in and out of the castle in secrecy, this is how we move about the city. Like, everything with these little symbols is 100% important. I'm pretty sure all of them are important, but, you know, explicitly says you will not be able to get all of this stuff. Yeah, like if we had been the house that was looking to make the Northern Alliance, then this is definitely what we would have had. I don't think this is important to the end of the game. Intelligence network combined with our exploration into the Black Dawn would probably help us find the subversives. I'm going to go with the firefighter squad and the vultures. I would very much like the intelligence network. But I definitely think, just because we were literally told, hey, last time they got the money, having this is the next big thing we want. Researching castle security is probably also good. Castle renovation plan. I mean, like, all of this is necessary, but I will try to focus on these ones. Underground tunnels and the treasury room. But for now, let's get the firefighter squad, because that's going to be important. And we'll get the Legion of very angry, rabid people. Not so easy to manage, though. Not so easy to manage and move around. So, is it necessary then for the underground tunnels to be built to go with these? That's kind of what that sounds like. But the not easy to manage part makes me wonder what triggers that, because they could very easily turn on us, is what it sounds like. We already have a rabid legion on top of these ones. Or were these guys unlocked? I think maybe these were the ones that were unlocked. Do we use them in our war, or do we end up turning them on the people? How do we manage them? What does it look like that we manage them? I don't see anything about that. I think I want this, though. Okay, yeah, we'll take them. Got three things that should unlock at the end of the next reign. Still yet to conquer another kingdom, so maybe we should look at that. But 1 in 6. We need to even that out a little bit. Honorable Alliance of the Duin. Okay, let's take a look at that. Or in Duin, I should say. With her surprising fighting skills, Lara fascinates the people of Duin. Many believe she embodies the spirit of Tilda, the saint daughter of courage and war. A memoir titled Confessions of the Soldier Princess has been spreading, inspiring our nobility to take a more active role in society as Enkali nobles do. It is, however, a proven forgery. Do we denounce the fake memoir of the saint daughter? No. For morale, I suppose? No. And that'll turn it into a white crown. And we'll maybe make these guys less pissed off at me. We're going to lose our alliance with them, probably. I need to make an alliance with them. I don't really have the money. I mean, I do. We never seem to need more than 10 gold at a time anyhow. Okay, no. Sometimes a lie can be of public benefit. Many nobles try to emulate the narrated events, taking a more active role in our kingdom. The influx of new talents benefits our society at all levels. Fake books. We let Lara's memoir spread without denouncing its falsity, even if its incongruencies were eventually noticed. Following its success, many other forgeries are produced, spreading false knowledge. We just invented fiction. Okay, let's do this one. Royal scholars have discovered that prolonged contact to red iron may lead to sterility, and this is likely the reason for the Ankali's small numbers. Disclosing this information would damage the business of the many smiths who are profiting from it, but keeping it secret could cause severe harm to our population. We had the truth about red iron sterility side effects. We'll go with the crowd on this one. We instruct the royal scholars to enlighten the population about the dangers of red iron. Its use is reduced, thereby causing damage to our economy, but the overall health of our population will be safeguarded. Thing is, we kind of want the military to have it. And we can see here we're... oofta. We need a new ally. We were already allies with these two, and then we broke that, but I think we might have had these guys for longer. And they're already nemesis of these, so maybe being allies will keep them off my back. Is it worth it, though? Like, having the extra, I have yet to actually spend all of these. Only once has that ever happened. I think it is acting like another shield, though. Like, if we lose all the hearts, then they'll just go back to these arrows. Or, no, did it say it sends them back to neutral? No, I don't think so, because we just lost an ally, and they didn't go to neutral. These guys are very indifferent to me. What about the hedgehogs? Being friends with the hedgehogs this time? Like, we seem to always be in good terms with them. Let's try it. Okay, nothing in town here. An honorable alliance. There goes my coins. Adia, considered by many to be the greatest sculptor our world has ever seen, wants to create a statue commemorating the much-acclaimed love story. Of what? She requires a large sum to fund her endeavor, as she wants to forge Lara out of red iron and Edgern out of silver. Do we grant Adia, the sculptor, the funds for the marriage statue? I mean, the marriage is off, so, like... No. I don't think so. Disappointed by our lack of support, Adia goes to the Kasuk Empire, where the rulers are more interested in celebrating the important moments of their history. Many intellectuals and artists follow the money as well, and leave us. Ooh, a diaspora of talent. Our lack of support caused the sculptress Adia to seek better fortunes in a foreign land. Her success in the Kasuk Empire caused many to emulate her. We are losing a lot of promising talent. Oh, shit. That didn't help. We are very much like, what happens when we run out of this stuff? I don't know. Precognitive rebellions. Lieutenant Larso of the army has been discovered to secretly be an Asher. He found a way to avoid the Grey Mark by keeping ash bread consumption at a minimum, but he still retains some divinatory powers and has risen rapidly through the ranks. Many soldiers now feel uncomfortable serving under him, and the High Commander recommends he be expelled, but his skills may prove to be useful. No shit. Do we dismiss Larso the Asher soldier? No. No, we don't. This will cause unrest, but his talents will probably... I mean, here's the thing. If you are kind to the Ashers, and do not imprison them, and willfully allow them to have their divinatory powers and all that as free people, it turns the tide of public thinking, and so they're no longer shunned. So I'm wondering if maybe this is... No. No. There is no redemption in this game, is there? No. Either way, we're going to do this. This might be bad. Despite the lamentations of our soldiers, we rule that as long as they abide by the law, Ashers can serve in the army and even become officers. The discontent of a few people is well worth the potential advantages of divinating commanders. Despite suspicion from his subordinates, the seer officer quickly rose through the ranks, sharing his valuable insight with the army. We have a new preparation. I'm interested to see what it is. We need to end the king here. We need to end the king and walk away with my winnings. Hire Larso as a high officer. That sounds important. A commander who knows, who can see. Holy crap. Continue the endless war. The enemy has interesting chronicles preserved in the form of oral poems, describing their history and philosophy. If we question war prisoners and study these tales, we may find an edge to finally vanquish the Ankali. Yet this giant enterprise would occupy our brightest minds for quite some time, many of whom just left, apparently. Do we fund research into Ankali epic songs? Yeah. With the help of Arla, the unscrupulous royal executioner, our historians question prisoners to learn about the Ankali by any means necessary. They discover that Liwick was once entirely covered with ice, and the Ankali developed their combat skills to defend the few fertile territories where agriculture was possible from nomadic raiders. Historical Chronicles. As the world warmed, the Ankali had to face a menace much more serious than the ice. A vast army from the south invaded Liwick, and most of the tribes either fled or bent their knee to the one known at the time as the Immortal Empress. The invaders outnumbered them, and had 8 incredibly strong champions whom the poems called Bloodless Shades, yet the Ankali knew their territory well and resisted numerous attacks. Interesting, so her immortal... I wonder, was she immortal? This is the goddess that we worship, and obviously the 8 generals. This is very interesting how the story portrays them through the eyes of different people. Like, you know who they're talking about, but it's all different perspectives. The battles continued for a long time until, for no apparent reason, the invading army crumbled into chaos. And there we go with that one. Oof. And we just lost a lot of crowns. Because of the direction they chose. Oh boy. Oh boy, we are out of dilemmas here. What was the new one? This one? The world warmed, outnumbered, shades, reason crumbled into chaos. Enkal could breathe easy for about a decade before a new king named Omad pulled the pieces of the empire back together and moved north with an even larger army and leading the 8 bloodless shades. During one battle, Ellerton, a young daughter of King Thurn, the Indestructible, was captured while commanding one of the battalions. Okay, so remember, it was mentioned how there would be a man leading the priestesses. This is King Omad. King Thurn assaulted the enemy camp, fighting his way to Omad's tent with his best warriors until only the 8 bloodless shades blocked his path. He fought valiantly and even managed to smash the mask off of one of them, but behind the mask was Ellerton. He hesitated only for a moment, but it was a fatal mistake, I guess. Proofreading, please. The empty husk that was once his daughter pierced him through the heart. By the end of the battle, the Ankali army was annihilated, and those who refused to submit to Ahmad fled to the farthest north. Ahmad built monasteries all over Luik and beyond, forcefully converting most of the population into worshipping his religion of the Immortal Mother. Upon his death, he divided his vast kingdom between his 3 sons, claiming that he split the kingdom so no political power would ever rise above religion, and gave them the duty of expanding and delivering the message of the Immortal Mother to every known land. We were the baddies all along. Alright. I mean, I'm assuming this is going to unlock some more, unless that is something else that happens, like you are meant to perpetuate the story through those decisions with the little symbols on them, and if you don't, then you just run out of missions, and it's going to bring the eclipse sooner or later anyway. Anyway, we might see the end of the game next time, I don't know. I'll end this one here. I'll see you then.